بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أحسن القصص read today in the Taraweeh beautifully recited by our Zakaria Sahib, and of course Surah Yusuf has many lessons that a person can learn and can take. Scholars have actually written books in which they just focus on the lessons derived from Surah Yusuf. Lessons derived from Surah Yusuf. I just want to touch on one aspect very briefly. That is the part where Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, he, Zulaika is trying to seduce him. She lost all the livers. She lost all the livers. This is a lady who, there has been mentioned that she's beautiful, she has power, she has authority. And Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, go in her home. Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam himself is extremely handsome. Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said that on the night of Mi'raj, when he saw Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, he was given half of this rose beauty. So very, very handsome man. So وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ, the Quran mentions وَغَلَّقَتِ الْأَبْوَابِ, that she closed the doors. She didn't just close them, but she locked them and double locked them. غَلَّقَتْ with a tashdid. It says that she went to the extremes then. Just not just pushing the doors. She double locked the doors. She made an effort to the doors. She's been planning. She's been awaiting this moment, this opportunity that she can seduce Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. And she tells him, now, the lesson I want to draw today is the response. Ma'ad Allah. Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam immediately said that he didn't say Allah, I seek refuge in Allah. He said Ma'ad Allah. The one whose refuge is Allah. The one whose refuge is Allah. In other words, Allah alone is the one whose help and protection we always seek. Allah alone is the one whose protection we seek. And then he says, إِنَّهُ رَبِّي أَحْسَنَ مَثْوَايَ. It is not right to betray my master who is taking good care of me. Some scholars mention he is referring to the Aziz because he grew up in his house. But the better meaning of this is that you're talking about Allah. Allah. Allah has done everything for me. My brothers, they took me out into the woodlands, and they did what? Into the jungle, and they placed me into a well. I could have died there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the narration mentions Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel to look after him. Then the passers-by took me. I could have been being a slave in anybody's home. I could have been treated in a rough and in a very harsh way. But I ended up here in this house, home of the Aziz. One is, I can't go against my master because he's been so kind to me. So also that's one lesson that we learn. Remember the favors of those who've been favorable to you. Too often we forget that. Too often we forget that. Right? A person at once upon a time they did not have much, and then somebody comes along, maybe a family member house, maybe a colleague, maybe someone shower some mercy and show some mercy in this kind. Give them a star. And then when we get that star, we get that boost, and we're doing well, we start saying, oh, nobody's helped me. I'm doing this on my own. Never forget the favors of those who were favorable and who were kind to you throughout your life. So of course it starts with our parents. They did everything for us. And then come down the line. All the siblings, your wife, your husband, whoever else, everybody who's had an impact in your life, a positive impact. It could be a teacher, a star, a mentor, the imam of the masjid. People who are there for you, people who care, people who ask questions about you, try to give you a push. Never forget that. So here he's saying this, I can't do this, I can't do this. Now remember, the doors are locked. All doors are locked, double locked. but he rushes towards the doors. Rushes towards the doors. And the narration mentions Zulaikha, she's rushing behind him as well. But one by one, according to narrations, and the doors start to open, and then the story goes on. The lesson I want to point out, Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam, he didn't just stay there. He's being enticed. The lady is trying her best to seduce him. He didn't just sit there and say, oh, what can I do now? Ma'akallah, he turned to Allah right now. Then he remembers Allah's favors upon him. And then he makes a move. He makes that effort. He rushes towards the door. Now, all of us in our life can learn from that. That as we try to connect ourselves to our Creator, as we try to better ourselves, we may find that we have some type of sin or the other in our life. So how do we get away from this sin? Seek Allah's protection. Ask Allah's assistance. Beg Allah. And don't just sit down there and beg, but make the move. Make the move. So there could be someone, for example, who has a drug habit. Have a drug habit, you want to get out of it. But then you're going with a drug law. Then you're associated with friends who are involved in drugs. That's not helping the cause. What's the bad? You saw Islam ran, he ran towards the door. So you make your dua, oh Allah, I have an addiction. I have an issue. Oh Allah, help me out from this. And then you also run towards the door. Get away from that company. Move away from those people. Go somewhere better. A person may be involved in, pornography. You're watching pornographic material. You can't get rid of it. Of course, you turn to Allah, you ask Allah, you seek Allah's assistance. And then, at night is when the challenge comes, when everybody is sleeping. So when you go, then leave the phone somewhere else. Put the phone aside. Give the phone to someone, you hold my phone until tomorrow morning. You got to make that choice. And this goes in everything. We may find ourselves maybe in a habit of riba and backbiting. When you backbite when you're with people. Then your company, your friend circle, always backbiting. Then you got to leave that. You got to get it. If you're not mature enough or you're not courageous enough to change the conversation, then the next thing is take the step away. So all of us have that door that we have to run towards. We run towards the door, Allah will be there to help us. That's the promise. That's the promise of Allah. Allah just wants to see action from us. I mentioned the statement of Hakim al-Ummah of the Maulana Aakil, and he said that try it. Anybody who's involved in sin, try it. For 40 days, make sincere dua. 40 days, make sincere dua that you want to get out of this issue that you're faced with. This trouble, this problem, the spiritual disease that you're in, make sincere dua. And you'll see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will aid you. Sincere dua, of course, effort from your side. And once you make that move towards Allah, the hadith promises, إِذَا تَقَرَّبَ الْعَبْدُ إِلَيْهِ شَيْءٌ. You want to go towards Allah. تُفِرْهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ. I'm running towards Allah. I'm done with that. I'm finding issues, but I want to get paid. So I'm moving towards the door. The door will open, you'll find the mercy of Allah. The hadith tells us when you make one hand span to Allah, Allah moves an arm's length. One arm length, Allah moves 2 arms length towards you. And when you go walking towards you, Allah comes running. It's a metaphor showing Allah just wants you. Allah comes. Allah is ready. But you just gotta make that one step. You gotta make that one step. Hakim al-Ummah rahmatullahi alayhi, he gives the example of a child. When a little baby is, trying to walk, the baby stands up. And you say, come. And they get up, they slowly get up. They start making 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're about to fall. What you do? Grab them in your arms. That's what Allah wants from us. So tonight, that's our lesson. Inshallah, we learn from this. We seek Allah's assistance in everything. And we move towards Allah. At the end of the day, that is what we want. Ramadan is to become pious, to become muttaqeen. Ramadan become the people of taqwa. And inshallah, when we have that, Allah grants me, Allah grants all of you. That's what life is about, right? We have this discussion every morning. That's what life is about. We've got to connect it to Allah. So make that step, and inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will envelop us in His mercy. Allah ta'ala make that happen. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.